Good morning, everyone, and also welcome for students in the classroom as well. Okay, so actually, for the full part of Power BI will be just like really started on next week. So this week is a preparation for the software that we have to use because normally not every computer would install the Power BI beforehand. I mean, like at the beginning of the term, okay, for Microsoft Excel, that's okay because we can see that okay, most of the computers we have Microsoft Excel and Microsoft Office software in our computer, but in terms of Power BI, it is the software that we have to install separately. So that's why we need to just like prepare ourselves for the Power BI. Okay, so on last class, we talked about the Power BI software that we need to install. And in our class, the software, the Power BI software that we have to use is called as Power BI Desktop. Power BI Desktop. In this one, when we have to install the Power BI, we have to go to Microsoft in order to download the Power BI, and then we have to just like choose the correct version of Power BI as well. So in this one, okay, you can see that if we just like go to Microsoft website, this is the place where we can just like download the Power BI. Oh, Tita is sleepy now. Okay. So I think next on the next class, I will let everyone to turn on your camera while you are with me. Same as my nieces. Yesterday, I thought that she was like studying because I heard that okay, she just like turned on her iPad, but she closed her eyelids. That means she was sleeping. I think it's the same as you as well. Whenever we have to install Power BI, we have to go to Microsoft website, and then we have to choose Power BI for download. So actually, when we go for Power BI, there are like many versions or many just like kind of Power BI that they have. Um, you can see that in this class, we have to use Power BI Desktop. That is the software that can get the data from various sources and also manipulate the data and do the visualization. While others are like the Power BI products for the corporate level. That means whenever we created the visualization by using Power BI Desktop already, if it is the corporate version, you will be able to like code the programs in order to just like link and show the animations of Power BI and show them in different platforms. So in this class, it doesn't cover for like other Power BI software. We use the Power BI Desktop only. And when you choose Power BI Desktop already, you have to download. If you decide to download by using the Microsoft store, you just click download free. But if you just like would like to download manually, you just click see download or language options in here. And after that, you just like choose the language that you would like to have. And then you have to check the version of your computer for the Microsoft Windows type that we have. And as I told you on last class, whenever we would like to check for the type of your Microsoft Windows, we just like have to go to File Explorer, go to this PC, right click on this PC and choose Properties. This one, it shows us that, okay, this computer is 64-bit operating systems. So that means when you have to install Power BI, you have to use the version that is matching version with your Windows as well. So in this one, we'll use PBI Desktop Setup X64. Once you click, and then you just like download. This one, you get the installation file. This one. So from time to time, the Power BI might be updated. So that means when you start your Power BI, it may ask you to just like update your Power BI. Once you click on updating it, sometimes in some version of Power BI, it might just like download the Power BI for you instantly. While some of the version of Power BI, once it asks you to update, it might just like lead you to this page. Then you have to just like follow the same step as we did. And when you have to install the new version of Power BI later on, you don't need to uninstall the old version first. You don't need to do that. You can just like install the new version straight away. It will manipulate the old version by just like remove it automatically. The settings will be the same. All the files will be the same. They will not eliminate or they will not delete any file of yours, but the version will be the new one. Okay. When we get the Power BI already, this is Power BI. It's Power BI desktop. When you start the Power BI desktop, you can see that in here. First one, once you start Power BI, one thing that you may notice is that it might be a bit slower than Excel, because the reason is because Power BI is fully graphics one, and also they have to load all of the visualizations that Power BI has in your computer first, in the memory first. So that's why it's a bit slow. Okay. So when you start your Power BI, you see the yellow screen like this. In this one, it's just like the introduction screen that you can just like also watch the videos for the introduction to Power BI as well. Okay. On the next time, if you don't want to see this screen again, you may just uncheck this checkbox. And after that, you just close the yellow screen here. And whenever we have to use Power BI, actually you can sign up for Microsoft account for free, and it will I mean, like, if you don't sign in into Power BI, from time to time, Power BI will ask you to log in into your or sign in into your Microsoft account. For anyone who feels annoyed, you can just like sign in by using your Microsoft account. Actually, in here, you can use Mahidol's account. That is your email address and password to sign in as Power BI without just like re-sign up in Microsoft website. So if you sign in already, it will never ask you again to sign in. Okay, so right now we just like come to our Power BI desktop programs already. And you can see that in here when we talk about the Power BI desktop, or the software that we have to use in this class, you can see that the interface of Power BI desktop looks like this. We have like a couple of menus on the top of the Power BI programs. You have File, Home, Insert, Modeling, View, and Help. So we just like you can see that for the home menu, we have like a couple of menus about the clipboard, data, queries, insert, calculations, and share. So in this one, for sharing or publishing in here, because actually in this class we just use Power BI desktop version only, so we don't just like use the feature shares, because for the share features here, it means that if you are running Power BI in the corporate and then you would like to just like share this one to your team, to your colleagues, to your boss, something like that, you have to install the Power BI server as well so that you can publish. And apart from that one, for the calculations here, actually Power BI has a features in order to help calculating some new columns, to create some new columns from the existing column that we have, and also it can just like help calculating some values that we call it as a measure as well. So this one we will learn about this for the new measure and the quick measure. But in this one, because we don't have any data in our Power BI yet, so that's why these buttons are just like in the gray color here. Also, we can just like insert the new visual นะครับ the new visual the graph the charts นะครับ or just like the tools to visualize the data we call it as visuals นะครับ visuals in Power BI and the queries นะครับ group of queries are the group of buttons that we use in order to manage our data นะครับ whenever we get the data from like other sources, for example, from Microsoft Excel or from database, and you would like to just like adjust some data a bit. For example, suppose we say that our data, for example, we have the name of the customer, and the name of the customer start with Mr. or Miss, if you don't want to have the salutation for or the title of that person, you can just like transform the data to eliminate those data that I'll just like talk about it later on. Apart from that one, we have the data group. The data group here means that whenever you would like to get the data from other sources, for example, we have Excel data, we have database, or we have online database. We will use the data group here in order to just like get the data into our Power BI desktop file. And on the left hand side, on the left hand side here, there are like the buttons for different views of Power BI. The top left is what we call the report view. The report will show the data and visuals that you created in Power BI. We call it as reports in Power BI in the white page here. The white page here is what we call report the report in Power BI. That in one Power BI file, you can have many reports, many pages of the reports. You can see that in here, it's page number 1. You can also create more pages similar to when you create or you insert the new worksheet in Microsoft Excel. And lower than the report view, you see the data view here. The data view is the way that we show the list of data that we have. Now we haven't got any data into our Power BI yet, so that's why it's just like the blank one. And the last one is the modeling or the model view. The model view here shows that in case that you have many tables in your data, how do they relate to each other? Okay, right. Okay, this is the thing that you have to know about like the basic or the overview of the Power BI desktop. So that in the next class, when I talk about more about like the buttons or the view that you have to go, you can go and navigate to this kind of thing easily. Okay, so apart from this one, what do we have to know before we start talking about the first easy example in Power BI? You have to know that normally Power BI itself, you cannot create the data. It's not Excel. So you can see that when you go to the data tab, there's nothing here. The original thing is that you have to load the data from somewhere else first. That means you need to have the data file from other sources. For example, in this class, I will give you some examples of the data from Excel file. And also I would also give you the examples of the data from the web page on the web page as well. Okay, so before we start using the Power BI for the very first example, let me just like prepare that data for you. Just won't be long. Okay, so for this one นะครับ if you go to see the e-learning นะครับ I just like have some files for you on e-learning นะครับ so for the e-learning นะครับ if you scroll down นะครับ to the Power BI part นะครับ right now I have like 6 or 7 different Microsoft Excel file นะครับ that I just like would like to use as a first example นะครับ okay right so firstly I want you to download a file called sales order Excel file นะครับ first sales order Excel file first นะครับ in to your computer when you download the file is called as ABC Sales for Power BI นะครับ then you just open it up okay so when you have a look on your data file here นะครับ there are like many sheets นะครับ there are many sheets for this file นะครับ name orders order detail customers and so on นะครับ okay and in each sheet it consists of different kind of data นะครับ okay let's talk about like the overview picture of this data file นะครับ what is it about this data file นะครับ is about the sales นะครับ information of a company named ABC Company นะครับ it tells us that okay from the year นะครับ okay this one the date might be quite old นะครับ because it started from like when this company was like founded since 1996 นะครับ it seems like this company collect the data in Excel นะครับ long time ago and now they would like to process the data นะครับ in terms of Power BI for visualizing this kind of data นะครับ okay this data file นะครับ the ABC company collects the sales order นะครับ in this worksheet นะครับ it tells us that okay for each order ID นะครับ which customer purchased the product from us นะครับ on what date which date that the customer required which date that the customer ordered from us and which date that they required and which date that we really shipped the product to them นะครับ where did we ship the product to นะครับ where did we ship the product to so in this one นะครับ on the worksheet orders you can see that for this worksheet นะครับ it tells us that it's possible that our customer นะครับ when they order the product from us they may want us to ship to somewhere else นะครับ not that company for example if our customer is the trader when they order the product from us นะครับ that we might be just like the producer of the products นะครับ or we might be the importer of the products we ship to their customers นะครับ we also ship to their customers location not just like ship to their company นะครับ okay so that means it's possible that each customer when they have like their own address นะครับ the company address it might be different from the ship address here so when you have the data like this นะครับ do not try to delete any data out นะครับ from Excel here because it's possible that our customer may want us to ship to somewhere else นะครับ apart from that one you can see that the orders worksheet here we have customer ID นะครับ but we don't have the name of the company of the customer it seems like it's just a short code for the customer นะครับ it's the ID of them นะครับ that might be some abbreviation of their company names or whatever นะครับ do you see it in details next on ครับ okay employee ID here นะครับ if we read from this information นะครับ it's a number here it seems like this number นะครับ should be the employee ID of ABC company นะครับ who is responsible for specific order นะครับ because you can see that each order will be responsible by different employee ID here but we don't know who they are นะครับ because it's just a number here so I assume that the employee name นะครับ or other information